Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you guys are doing well. It's been a while. Man, do we have some shit to cover today. The world's been crazy, huh? The world's been crazy. Give me a little one in the comment section if the last fucking 2 weeks has just been absolutely fucking nutty. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes shit's scripted, but sometimes it's too good to be true. So, ladies and gentlemen, this last week has been crazy. We got UFOs flying around. We got biohazards exploding all over the fucking country. We have a war happening across the world. We have jab executives talking about how they basically want to become God and edit DNA and control the evolution cycle, which is pretty crazy. So, hang on, my mic is peaking here a little bit. Anyways, so it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week, and now we're in a situation where we got to cover some facts. We have to cover some facts because some shit's been going down this last week that the news is not covering. And we might get in trouble, ladies and gentlemen, for covering this shit. We might get in trouble, but it's okay because it does not matter because we're not bound to any social media platforms. We kind of do our own thing. Anthony, let me know, is the mic pretty good? How's the mic, guys? Give me a little one on the mic check before we get started. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button if you haven't already. We're gonna get started. We are covering Ohio. I've been on YouTube. I've been on all the news outlets. There's very little coverage, so I'm trying to piece together what the fuck is happening in real time. So I want to do this with you guys in real time, which is going to be extremely important. But we kind of have to be conscientious that there's a reason why this shit isn't out there, right? And that's kind of where we have to start the story. We have to start the story with what the fuck is happening, right? And who are the parties involved? Because once you understand parties involved, you understand intention, right? And you have to go back to intention as the leading factor for everything that's taking place. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, welcome to the stream. My name's Luke Belmar. If you don't know me already, you've probably seen me online, I guess, somewhere. Not really sure how. We've been doing this kind of shit for the last 2 to 3 years. We've been on this grind for a while, and the world's just extremely nutty. Shit wasn't really going down like this a couple years ago. Ever since 2020, March of 2020, you can kind of look into what happened on March 2020. Shit's kind of on a downward spiral, and it's pretty obvious. So we have to be able to uncover what the fuck's happening so we can prepare ourselves and situate ourselves in a way where we can bypass all the noise and all the bullshit, right? And see what the fuck is happening. So when on the news you have Rihanna, UFOs, Kanye yelling, and all these other distractions, you have to look beyond that and figure out what the fuck is actually happening in the world. We're still bombing Syria. Nothing's changed. We just blew up all these train carts full of poison, and not only did we not clean up the spill, we decided to do a controlled burn. Like, what the fuck is going on? And we're being told everything's okay, right? The difference between back in the day when the news outlet would tell you everything's okay, or the government organization would tell you everything's okay, you could believe it because there was no other source of information. Now you just have to open up TikTok, look up hashtag East Palestine, and you see what the fuck is happening. Like, fish are dying in real time. Animals are dying in real time. People are getting fucking sick, but people are not being told to evacuate. Now you have hydrochloric acid that's forming in the air and raining down as acid rain and melting fucking cars, and it's absolutely crazy. So nobody's covering it. So we need to figure out what the fuck is happening. And that is why we're here, ladies and gentlemen. We are covering gas clouds, UFOs, and whatever the fuck's happening in the world, because apparently We can't get straight answers. We can't get proper information. How are you guys vibing with the lo-fi, by the way? I'm pretty good at vibing with lo-fi, especially when we do a lot of this research stuff. I want to be researching some information about this company, first of all, and then I have some pinned tweets that I want to go through that might give us a little bit of clarity. But what I'm going to do with you guys in real time is kind of what I've always done. This is kind of like my research method. So let's say I'll start down on a rabbit trail, and I kind of rabbit trail to figure out what the fuck is happening. And then what we do is we tie all these thoughts together and potentially bring a conclusion that is maybe plausible. Obviously nothing is for certain, but there's a lot of information out there and people aren't really aware. So let me go ahead and screen share here. How's the lo-fi, by the way, guys? Is it chilling, or you guys want it off? Let me know. 1, keep the lo-fi running in the background. 2, turn the lo-fi off. I kind of wanted to keep this a little bit of a chill vibe since it is a little bit gruesome, what's kind of taking place. So to keep the stream not too intense, let me know. All right, sounds good. So let me screen share here. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're on my Twitter channel right here. Let me move this right here. It's really funny. Before we even get started, check this out. So we have the European Central Bank, right? The organization that issued the euro about 20 years ago, which is known to be a fucking failed currency. This shit is just a basket of a ton of different currencies put together, and I don't see it lasting very well. Look what these motherfuckers are out here putting on Valentine's Day. This is how much they care about you, right? Roses are red, violets are blue. We will stay the course and return inflation to 2. Like, these motherfuckers are out here printing trillions of dollars in real time in front of you, and then they have the courtesy to just drop a little Valentine's Day poem on your ass when inflation is through the fucking roof. People can't pay their bills. Europe is going through an energy crisis, and it's absolutely fucking crazy. It's very interesting. Look at the recommendations right here. We got the Fed, the World Bank, and the IMF. So it lets you know a little bit of the research that we're doing. But now it's kind of a joke, right? It's a joke. Let people kind of die and freeze to death like it's happening right now in Europe. But hey, let me just drop a little Valentine's Day poem on your ass to lighten the mood. But anyways, let me start down here. I want to find some shit. By the way, guys, a lot of this stuff I've literally just been pulling from TikTok, but I wanted to research this. Shout out to Kane Koa. I was reading some of his threads. Guy has some pretty informative stuff. Let me move this over here. And we can go ahead and get started. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't hit the like button just yet, this is what we do. We cover information in real time. I kind of what I do is I break down a lot of the information that's at hand, and we kind of try to put together some conclusions. So as you guys know, this has gotten 13.8 million views, so it's not brand new. But the issue is we haven't heard any negative talk from the authorities. From the authorities, all we're getting, authorities, right, quote unquote, it's an important statement to make sure we use air quotation, are telling us that everything's fine. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but in my opinion, nothing's fucking fine. This shit looks like a nuclear bomb. This isn't condensation that you see here, guys. This is not condensation. So what you're seeing right here is the fumes that are being burned right now from probably what could be considered one of the biggest toxic hazards that has ever happened in the United States. So then we're going to go into TikTok. We're going to look at this kid right here who's been kind of breaking down the stats a little bit. So we're going to go through the entire scenario. But first of all, right, let's go on Google. Let's see what Google, ladies and gentlemen, gives us for our search. Oh, interesting. You guys got raindrops for your Valentine's Day. It's very convenient with all the acid rain taking place. Let's just do East Palestine. All right. Let's see what news we got. Okay, so we got reports of dead fish. We got reports. Oh, look at the governor says everything's chilling. I heard that. That was fucking crazy. Global news. Let's see what came out today. Remember, mind you guys, I'm doing this in real time with you guys so that we can kind of piece together what the fuck's going on. I'll be reading some of the comments as well. What array of toxic chemicals? All right, this is important information. So let's see what chemicals are being used right now. It's important to break down this information before we kind of get into all the tweets. Let me move this. You guys can read it as well. You're chilling. So they didn't evacuate 8 miles away. So it's smelling for 48 hours like nail polish 8 miles away. Very interesting. The EPA oh my goodness. I promise you these guys are telling us that everything's fine. EPA has to be telling us that everything's fine. Okay, so people are experiencing headaches, burning eyes, and other symptoms. Fucking crazy. What's actually even crazier is that all of this is taking place right next to a river that would contaminate probably about the water supply about 5 to 7% of all the United States. It just seems really coincidental. Oh, there we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I told you we were going to find it. I told you the EPA was going to say everything was fine. I told you guys. I told you guys. Look at this. Crazy. The Washington Post. The EPA said no concerning levels of toxins have been detected in the air. Yet people are fucking complaining that shit smells like nail polish. Animals are dying left, right, and center. Animals are dying in the fucking water. Like, that's not normal. But the EPA, right, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, is telling us that everything is fine. So what is taking place, actually? Everything is not fine. As we know, governments lie. So if we know that governments lie, we need to be extremely careful when the government says something. Like, there's nothing taking place. You see, this is the bullshit. Okay, read this. After a fire or chemical release ends, and this was a chemical release, right? This was intentional. The air eventually becomes clear, experts say, and the contamination concerns shift to what is on the ground or what could have gotten to the soil. Well, what's in the fucking clouds? Hydrochloric acid is forming in the air when water molecules are binding with these toxins. That shit is raining on your food. That shit is raining on your water. They're literally telling you right here, dude. Careful with the soil. Careful with the soil. Is there a coincidence that we're next to all the Amish land? Is that a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen? I don't think it's coincidental that we're next to all the organic farms and all the fresh water spring supplies. Look, and you know, and this is the interesting part, right? This is the interesting part. It's the amount of data that they actually hold. So if you start evaluating how much data these people actually have, this is their testing, right? About 450 people requested in-home testing, right? Near the railroads, whatever. 291 homes have been screened. This is, right? This is your testing. 291 homes to determine one of the biggest chemical spills and chemical mismanagements in American history. So now we have to blame, or we have to look at the company. Oh, let's look at the company. What type of company do you think, ladies and gentlemen, would provoke, right, such a situation? By chance, definitely not a company that's all about profit, right? Definitely, it can't be. It can't be that the first thing that you see on the website, it says invest in Norfolk Southern, right? So we have a company that is publicly listed on the NASDAQ. Huh. Interesting. Ownership and top holders. So here we have the company, Norfolk Southern, that is responsible for the chemical spill and the mismanagement of chemicals in Ohio. They're publicly traded. Their stock's only down 1.8%. Very surprised. So, if the news isn't covering this, if their stock price needs to be protected, then let's figure out who the top shareholders are. How does that sound? Well, fuck me. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Right in front of your faces. Right in front of your faces, you have the top holders of the companies that is responsible for the biggest chemical spill in the United States. You have the Vanguard Group and BlackRock. Wait, but there's more. Let's go to Yahoo Finance. And we're saying, ladies and gentlemen, we're like, it can't be, right? It can't be that you're in a situation where nobody's really out here, right, putting forth proper information, right? Nobody's out here dictating what is taking place. It's very much secretive, not a lot of information. And then all we have to do is look at who owns the media companies. So, I don't know. Maybe we go to Fox News. Do we start there? I wonder who's the top shareholder of Fox News. No wonder they're not talking about the chemical spills, because the same company, right, that owns the media owns the company that is responsible for the chemical spill. Very interesting. Look, they have a code of ethics. I wonder what this is. A message from our CEO. Get it done. Do what's right, LOL. Build connections or kill families and find a better way. The better way is to burn shit. Hey, because if you can't see it, it must not be there. Sounds a lot like fluoride. Anyways, let's continue. So this is all in real time with you guys. As you guys know, we're kind of just piecing this shit together. So here we have a video recap of the, like Kane Koa says, a toxic cocktail of deadly chemicals. All right, this is what's happening in real time.
Cocktail of harmful and potentially deadly chemicals purposely being burned off by authorities. But why? Let's rewind. This all started with a train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, a town of nearly 5,000 people. 5 of the cars that derailed were carrying vinyl chloride, a dangerous chemical linked to multiple cancers. It's used to make a whole bunch of things, from car parts to PVC piping, but on its own, vinyl chloride can cause blisters, headaches, dizziness, and can be deadly if breathed in for too long. It's also unstable.
It can be deadly if breathed for too long. So here you're being told that vinyl chloride, the chemical that was incinerated around neighbors and around neighborhoods and around children, is known to be deadly. Interesting.
And at least one of the train cars was at risk of exploding and sending deadly shrapnel flying as far as a mile. And while that massive explosion didn't end up happening, many are wondering if the way authorities are going about mitigating the incident is the best course of action. To avoid a catastrophic explosion, officials conducted a controlled release of vinyl chloride a few days after the derailment.
That shit's crazy, dude. That shit's crazy. This shit's crazy. Like, these dudes just poisoned their own town.
Conducted a controlled release of vinyl chloride a few days after the derailment.
I love how they put controlled release in quotations.
They pierced the train cars so the vinyl chloride could drain into a trench and burn. It resulted in this. Authorities said that the controlled burn would release hydrogen chloride and phosgene into the air. Yes, as in World War I chemical weapon phosgene. So what does that mean for residents?
Holy shit, bro. Okay. Phosgene? What the fuck is that? I don't know. That's crazy, dude. This is the shit that was released into the air. Phosgene, which was used for World War One. What the fuck? Schedule 3. Okay, so hear me out. Okay, so the CWC, which I guess is it's a convention, it's a chemical weapons convention. I'm assuming it's a group of countries that get together to say, hey, like this shit is banned. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm assuming it has something to do with this. And one of their substances known as a Schedule 3, which I guess it has to do with the ranking of toxicity. It's a chemical warfare agent. This is crazy, guys, honestly. I don't know. I'm looking at this in real time. Some people are like, "Oh, Wikipedia, dude." In Wikipedia, you can still get basic information, right? On Wikipedia, you can still get basic information because all you have to do is literally go to the bottom and you can start looking into the references, which I'm not going to do in real time for you because you're a dork, which is your job. Your job's to do your own research. But the point is, it's still very much relevant. Okay, so whether you look at it here. What? You probably got jabbed, so this might be a credible website for you. But phosgene is another chemical that was released into the air. Okay, so watery eyes, blurred vision, exactly what people are literally talking about happening to them. That's what's taking place. This guy out here on TikTok's talking about it. You guys can probably look into it. It's quite a little bit of a long video. The Wisconsin Department of Health, exposure to vinyl chloride can affect a person's liver, kidneys, lungs, spleen, nervous system, and blood. Okay, so it's known to be super deadly. And it's telling you people exposed to levels of 1 million. You have an increased risk of missing. Wow. And this shit's literally raining on people. And it's supposed to be 1 parts per million, which is less than a raindrop, and this shit's literally raining on people. But anyways, the vinyl chloride burn occurred near the Ohio River. Phenomenal. So as you guys know, condensation. Then you go into rain. That rain falls into the rivers. And shit is just a cocktail of chemicals. Crazy. The EPA sent a letter to the rail company stating that the ethylene glycol, blah, 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 these were also other chemicals that were on the rail car. We basically nuked the town with chemicals so we could get a railroad open. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. People are talking about dead fishes.
But I think it's important for people to see the dead fish.
Like, that shit ain't normal, dude.
I'm gonna walk under the bridge here above and show you. Coming right up.
Like, that shit is not normal.
Another fish. There's hundreds of them up here in this area across here. Hundreds. Another fish. But you can see.
All right, so dead fish in Leslie Run coming out of East Palestine, Ohio. So I'm guessing that's somewhere near the city. Let's see what people are saying here.
Some even dying. First News has been hearing all of your calls about your animals suffering and getting sick, some even dying. And it's not just causing problems for the animals, it's also causing problems for their owners as well. Taylor Holzer and his family run Parker Dairy. It's just outside East Palestine's original evacuation zone. Taylor is an ODNR registered fox keeper. A couple of his foxes broke their legs trying to run after the initial derailment. One of his foxes even died.
Out of nowhere, he just started coughing really hard and just shut down. And
shit's crazy, dude.
He had liquid diarrhea and just went very fast.
Taylor tells me all of his foxes have been sick and acting different since the weekend. Some have abnormally puffy faces, including the one he's holding. He says they are not eating properly. Many are dealing with stomach issues and are acting lethargic.
This isn't how a fox should act. He's very weak, limp. His eyes are very watery and weepy.
Some of the foxes are pacing rapidly in their pen. Another.
If you look at animals that pace back and forth in their pens, that usually means that they're going crazy, right? They're cooped up, they're going fucking crazy. Wild, dude. If you I don't know about you guys, I'm looking into this. All this shit, some of it is very brand new to me. I have no idea about trains, chemical spills, or anything. All I know is the news ain't telling us shit, and the same company that owns, right? The company that is responsible for the spill, the railway company, they own the media and they own the social media handles. So when I go to trending on Twitter and I don't see East Palestine trending, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? It's all very controlled. It seems very interesting. Anyways, so Chernobyl, Ohio. Oh, did you guys see the crazy one? This is a crazy one. Have you guys seen this? In 2022, Netflix releases a movie titled White Noise. And this is a movie about a train derailment in East Palestine that causes a massive Chernobyl-like experience. This is not a joke. You can literally go right now on Netflix and look at this. Go on Netflix right now. Type this shit, White Noise. This is a movie that came out last year about the same thing that just happened in the same city under the same conditions. And then on one side, you have to look at who's the founder of Netflix. And you see that the creator of Netflix, his last name is Bernay. He's related to the father of propaganda, which is the guy that pushed cigarettes, the guy that pushed fluoridation, the guy that pushed breakfast as a dietary necessity. That scammer is related to the founder of Netflix, and Netflix decides to publish a few months before the big chemical spill in Ohio, they decide to release a movie called White Noise. This shit is crazy. And whatever you say, these are the facts, right? So I don't care whether you voted for this person, that person, whether you identify as this, as that, whether you like me, you don't like me, these are the facts, right? And some people will look at the facts and they are so blind and their cognitive dissonance is so ingrained that they will look at the facts and believe that it's just lucky. It's just coincidental. But it's not. Very much not that case. So look into this movie because this shit is actually taking place. Oh, should we watch the trailer? Should we watch the trailer, ladies and gentlemen, of the movie about East Palestine getting nuked? Getting nuked? Should we watch this?
Would you like that, a protein?
That stuff causes cancer in laboratory animals, in case you didn't know.
Either I chew gum or I smoke.
What are these children, yours?
That's mine from wives 1 and 3. And there's Babette's from husband 2. Wilder is ours. We're each other's 4th.
Life is good, Jack. I hope it lasts forever.
Shit's crazy, bro. This shit's literally crazy. The movie.
Let's watch a sitcom or something.
Let's watch a sitcom or something. Get distracted.
They're calling it the airborne toxic event.
It won't come this way.
Will we have to leave our home?
Of course not.
How do you know?
I just know.
Okay, what if it's dangerous?
Evacuate all places of residence.
We have a situation. All we have to do is stay out of the way.
They're passing us, Dad.
Technically, that's illegal.
Do sheep have lashes?
Ask your father.
We're going sideways.
Dad, do sheep have lashes?
Doesn't anyone want to could outthink the problem?
As long as the children are here, they need us.
Anyways, there you have the trailer. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, if you're interested, look into this fucking movie, White Noise. Like, what the fuck is happening? Makes no sense. But it is what it is. Alright, so for all the people that got jabbed and trust the CDC, let's pull up some CDC guidelines on vinyl chloride. Health effects, routes of exposure, patient information, prehistorical management. So, should I move this here? So this is from the CDC website for everybody that cares and considers them a reputable organization. There you go. That's your information. Okay, so you have no political affiliation or no sort of science indoctrination that keeps you away from understanding what the fuck is actually taking place. So once you start realizing that they try to divide you through politics and identity issues and things of this nature so that they can perpetrate all this garbage, that's when you got to be extremely careful. So the CDC is basically telling you, don't inhale this shit. If this shit touches your eyes and your skin, it's not really, really good. And it can fuck up your eyes, ingestion. Okay, so acute toxicity is unlikely, is what it's saying, in small amounts. So, interesting. What else do we have here? All right, Norfolk Southern Corporation manages 19,420 route miles. So this is the company that I was telling you guys about that is most likely owned or mostly owned by BlackRock and Vanguard. This is their entire area that they manage, right? So these guys aren't only out here managing $2.2 billion in payroll, right? And have 27,000 employees, but they're zipping through the entire country. Look at the entire country. They're zipping through states. They're zipping through neighborhoods, through residential areas, through schools, with all these chemical wastes and all these chemical hazards. What the fuck is going on? Who is allowing this? Who is allowing vinyl chloride to just freely move all around the country with no sort of supervision? Clearly there was no supervision. What the fuck is going on? You just burned the shit and it's just, everything's gone, everything's okay. That's not how reality works. That's not how reality works. Okay, so here we have this guy talking a little bit about it again. Talking about the other stuff that blew up in the carts, which was other chemicals. Interesting. Do your own research, look into it. Hazmat specialist is concerned authorities aren't testing exactly for what we talked about, phosgene, and all these other chemicals that are known to be extremely dangerous. Right? So we talked about phosgene being used in World War I. So you have this guy that's a hazmat specialist. So this guy's an expert. Let's see what he's saying.
Authorities say it's safe for residents there to return to their homes. What are your concerns?
Well, my concerns are for chemicals that I have not been able to find that they have been looking for. They've been looking for volatile organic chemicals, which encompass a large, broad spectrum of chemicals. And the devices that they're looking for them with are called, photoionization devices. However, stuff like phosgene takes a special photoionization
So they're not so in essence, the guy's basically saying that they're not utilizing all the tools necessary to test for different chemicals. They're only using the necessary tools to test certain chemicals. That's basically what the guy's saying. So he's concerned that they're not doing a good job at deciphering what is actually in the air versus what is not out there.
Or it takes a special meter. We're also not talking about dioxins. We're not talking about some of the other byproducts that were put into the cloud. And my concern was, very quickly, relatively quickly after this stuff all burned off, they started bringing people back home, and they kind of put out.
They started bringing people back home, dude. This shit's crazy.
A notice that said, if you feel like you want to have your house checked, call this number, and Norfolk Southern will send someone there to check.
The government, when you call them and you say, hey, there's been a chemical spill, they're burning this shit into the air. Who do we call to inspect our homes? Let me call the railway company and have them come test my house. The fuck's wrong with you guys? The same company causing the chemical spills is the company that's being called to go to people's crib. To go to people's crib. Guys, I know my Instagram's down. Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Do not worry. A resident scoops up dead fish and frogs 4 miles from the train derailment. A single dip of my net, I collected nearly 24 dead or nearly dead animals. This is just not normal. Very interesting. So the whole point, guys, is be extremely careful with, if you live in the Northeast, I don't know if you do, I would only be drinking bottled spring water. If you live in Ohio, you live in Pennsylvania, I'd leave. Like, I know it sounds like shit, but I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be there. Comment. There are 75,000. Remember when we talked about the Amish and the organic farms, guys? There are 75,000 farms in Ohio. Nearly 90% of those farms are run by families and individuals. It is ironic that this awful environmental disaster happened there. Coincidentally, there's a global war on small holdings farms to sell or go bust via legislation and economics. Have you seen what's taking place in the Netherlands with the farmers? There's a war against the farm companies. But anyways, let me show you guys something here. Let's go to this person. So there's a chemical spill happening that should be extremely concerning, right? Extremely concerning. And the best we get from How Dare You is a retweet, right? So we get a retweet. That's the best that we get when this is probably one of the biggest climate hazards that's taken place in the recent years. But then you get the promo of the book. Then you get the promo of the book after the retweet to make sure your bases are covered, but you don't actually give a fuck. You don't actually give a fuck because it's not part of the agenda. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't want to be out here hating on a little kid, but yeah, just very interesting. Here we have the actual rivers. So right here is where the chemical spill took place. Look at the river connections, guys. This shit's nuts. This shit's crazy. So if this seeps into the water supply, you're talking about water that takes care of 8% of the United States, 9%. It's a big deal. People are not making it a big deal because they're not fucking affected by it. But this shit is not a joke. And I'm not popular when I say these things, but damn, I'm right, dude. And I told you guys, you have to be able to uncover. You have to be able to uncover intentions, right? So you have the Norfolk Southern Company, which operates the railway system, okay, and their reparation for the entire town for this disaster to all the people in East Palestine is $25,000 donation to help evacuate people. When they just spent $10 billion in stock buybacks last year, over the last 6 months or so, or they committed to it. $10 billion in stock buybacks, and here you have them giving a $25,000 donation for creating what could be potentially a crippling effect for the United States. Like, you guys think it's a joke? It ain't a fucking joke. Look at this thing, dude. This is not, you guys need to understand, this is not a cloud. This is not smoke. This is not you burning leaves on the ground. You're talking about something that is designed for chemical warfare. This shit is not a joke. Let alone understanding that every property there is worth zero. Shit's basically worth nothing. It's garbage. Okay? All the houses, the real estate, the land, gone. Gone. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 40 minutes in. I'm going to continue. Hit the like button if you haven't already. And let's get into part 2 here. Hit the like button. It always helps the algo or whatever it is that these social media platforms do. You guys know I'm not super big into all of this. So anyways, here we have the Kane Koa thread. If you haven't read it already, it's extremely important. So what are the discoveries that we've made? The discoveries that have been made is that there is World War level chemical warfare biohazards, right? It's fucking crazy, dude. I can't believe the fact that there's literally a movie about this thing, dude. Like, this shit just fucks with my head. Because it just can't be coincidence. It just, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. So if somebody can explain the logic behind that, I'd be extremely grateful. But anyways, that's about it, ladies and gentlemen, for East Palestine. So I would not be very much worried with UFOs and all that bullshit. I'd be worried with this. This shit's crazy. Train derailments are common, ladies and gentlemen. They're common. But how this thing was managed and the fact that the USA has not said anything about it is extremely concerning. So reports, can we make a report? Can we see if there's anywhere to report stuff? Learn about the conditions where you live? Okay. Let's look at the East Palestine zip code. See if there's anything reported. Okay, so 44413 zip code, East Palestine. I'm assuming that's the one. I couldn't tell you guys. But let's see what the conditions are of this place. Let's see if the Environmental Protection Agency has updated this. Oh, sick! No update whatsoever from the government. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. No updates from the government. Interesting. So here you go. Here's your government that you pay trillions of dollars to, asking them to give you real-time information regarding the air quality of East Palestine, Ohio, and they can't. And they can't. And they won't. So there you go. There you have your air quality, ladies and gentlemen, from 2015. From East Palestine. The United States says that East Palestine is A-okay, nothing to worry about. The same companies that run your media are the same companies, right, that own. That's crazy. Norfolk Southern. You can call this a coincidence, you can call this a joke, but it's there. It means something. It means something. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward. Hope you guys gained some information. Let's look at their stock. Hang on, let me open up their stock. Maybe we can look at the technicals of their stock. The thing is, I know that they've had buybacks recently, and the issue with buybacks is that they tend to keep the stock price up, or it at least gives the investors certainty that the company is buying back its own shares because it's doing well. But it'd be interesting to see if this is a company worth shorting. Seems pretty stable over the last 2 years, but yeah, I'll look into this and I'll report to you guys about how the stock is doing. Been looking at it today, but I don't know a whole lot about it. So you have an $18 billion market cap organization that is just called one of the biggest, this is Fox News. Here you have Fox News, who's supposed to be, you know, giving you guys your information, and the top holder is Vanguard, aka the same holder. And it's not that you own a small percentage, you know what I mean? It's not that you own a small percentage. You own, between BlackRock and Vanguard, you own the majority of the company. You own 12% of the organization. Interesting. And that's what people don't understand when they invest in index funds and ETFs and kind of government or institutional vehicles. They're managing the money for you, right? They're managing the money for you. They're managing and controlling everything, which puts you in a situation that everything's about money. Like, everything is about shareholder information. Invest in us. Like, I don't often go to websites where they give you the dividend history and things of this nature. This is very much a profit-oriented company. So anything that has to do with profits is in the conversation. Anything that has to do with killing profits is most likely out of the conversation. And that probably entails safety and security. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hope you learned a thing or two. I'm going to keep doing some research on this, but that is the name of the game. Don't look at what the news is telling you. Look around. If you live in the Northeast, be extremely careful with your water supply. If you do not drink spring bottled water, I would look into it. If you guys are eating shit that is produced in either Ohio, Pennsylvania over the coming months, I would be extremely fucking careful. Some people will say it's a joke, and so be it. And other people will look at the facts and the writing on the wall and realize the reality of the situation that we live in. So hope this was of value to you guys. Hopped on here for 50 minutes, and yeah, that's about it. Hit the like button if you haven't already. I'm probably gonna, should I keep this up or should I take it down? I'm probably gonna take it down. Why not? You guys, you have to show up, you know, when we sit down and we talk and we converse about these things. I don't like to record. I don't like to record. Somebody, okay, so let me look at the chat, guys. I'm not big on the whole chat thing, as you guys know. There you go. Chats are going crazy, but as you guys know, I'm not big on chats. So, yeah, fuck with you guys. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and let's make some more fucking content. I have a couple vlogs coming out. Over this month. I still have the Rolex giveaway, by the way, guys. It's literally right here. I can't, oh, where is it? Right here is the Rolex giveaway, as you guys know. You guys see it? Anyways, but I'm waiting for something to arrive in the mail before I do the giveaway. So yeah, fuck people, bro. Let's take the stream down, bro. People can just tune in real time. I don't do this like pre-recorded nonsense, you know, like how they have this pre-recorded stuff. Just don't fuck with that. But ladies and gentlemen, okay, somebody said there's a chemical spill in Arizona 10 minutes ago. Shit. All right, guys, stay tuned. Stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. All right, stay tuned. We're not going anywhere, apparently. What the fuck is happening? Check Arizona. Alright, I'm checking, guys. I'm checking. What the fuck? Alright, guys. Let me screen share here. Bro, this shit's crazy, dude. This is like some Call of Duty Modern Warfare stuff. What the fuck? A shelter in place has been called for 1 mile area of Tucson following a crash and hazmat spill. Okay, so brand new information, nothing there, guys. All right, so nothing there. I think we need a few more hours for this story to develop, guys. Okay, so this shit was posted a couple minutes ago. All right, this is a developing story, guys. So I'll keep you posted on how I see it. So nitric acid. All right, perfect. I'll do some research on this, guys. I'll keep you posted. And yeah, that's about it. Appreciate you. Love you. See you guys on the internet. I'll see you guys around on the internet. Go get some sun. If you haven't, go get a tan. As you guys can tell, I'm nice and fucking tanned. Not letting all this negativity and this bullshit bring you down. But you have to be aware. You have to be awake. You need to understand the narrative. Because then you prepare accordingly. There's a lot of chess players in the game of life that want your lunch, and they're willing to do anything and everything to see you destroyed, poor, depressed, angry, and alone. Don't let them. Somebody said tan or red. Bro, here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you don't wear sunscreen, because sunscreen is known to be a carcinogenic, specifically all these non-organic weird creams, banana, boat, or whatever all this stuff is, you don't use it. So you just get a little bit of red. Get a little bit of red. It's all good. At least I won't get all this fucking toxic shit on my skin. As you know, your skin is your biggest organ, so it absorbs a lot. So you got to be extremely careful what you put on it. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you. Much love. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Hit the like button. And that's how we do it. We break down shit in real time as best as we can. And yeah, be on the lookout for the vlog, Rolex giveaway. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Much love.